some of them, some of the mainstream ones are not actually gone. Okay. And I've channeled this before. Some of the people that we've followed, I don't know what's wrong with my camera. Sorry. It's very blurry, but some of the people that we, used to love in Hollywood who are not here anymore, they actually are still here. So, but if we're talking about regular people that are not part of the program, then they're saying the answer is the same. These souls have come in knowing that how they live their life, sharing truth, etc., is going to give humanity more cow prodding, right, to make different choices. So it's they're saying that's why they mentioned the word revolt. Humanity is saying this is enough. It's enough, right? So our lives are finite. Our human life is finite. Our soul lives on forever. The souls of these people who are, you mentioned, taken out, for those that are actually taken out, and anyone that leaves this human body,
to silence them. It's the silencer.
Well, in the 3D, yes. In the 3D, of course, that's what it is. However, they're saying right now it backfires because all it does is it wakes more people up. So these are soul contracts. These are soul contracts that these beautiful starseeds have taken on to say, I could be taken out. And I'm not scared of death anymore. So I used to be, but now I know how things work. And so I could be taken out as well. I'm not going to stay quiet. You know my story from corporate America. I won't stay quiet. I'm going to keep sharing truth. And that's how these people that you're referring to are also feeling, or also being driven by something bigger than themselves from their soul contracts, I would say. And the sacrifices that they've made are only waking more people up, right? So before all this stuff was happening, we'll say 50, 100 years ago, before mass media was showing all of this stuff, the awakening was much slower. Now that we have access to see more of this stuff, more stories, more people's tragedies, it's spurring more people awake. It's part of the design of what these people, these souls, have signed up to do. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. I get that. Okay, thank you for that. Because what they're saying is a lot of the people that we see sitting in the government office are not the people that we think they are.
Yeah.
The real people are already gone, and those are clones. So basically, it's not humans running our country anymore. And
well, it never has been. I'll tell you that. Okay, I'm channeling it right now, but I've channeled this before. So what we see on TV, what we know about the politics. Okay, thanks. They want me to say this. Do your research on thought forms, but. Unless you want to go down the rabbit hole, but thought forms, politics is a thought form. It was presented to us. We're going to put people in charge of humanity. And what they've done is over time tightened it, right? So maybe in the beginning, it felt like they had our best interests in mind, but it's never been fully human, and it was never best interests in mind. This planet has been run for eons by non-humans that don't have humans' interests in mind. We just are remembering our current life. Our current life remembers what we've experienced, which is the current political system. These people are actors. They're playing multiple parts. Some of the people you see on TV in movies are also playing the parts of these politicians. It's all an illusion to keep us believing that these systems and structures are real. We have created these thought forms and made them real through us believing that they're real. So they're projecting to us what they want us to believe, and then we make it real through believing it and acting on it, going to vote, whatever the things are, right? So they're already non-humans running our country and the whole world. And I talk a lot about this on my, again, on my TikTok channel. This world is being ran like a pyramid. The non-human entities are at the top, and low-level management are the elites, the politicians, the people acting as these people. It's not real. You could vote however you want to vote. It's never going to make a difference because it's all an illusion to make you believe that you have choice. But the only choice that we should be choosing is sovereignty. How are we directing that energy into our own daily life? That's going to create a new reality for ourselves individually and the collective. So you're right, but that's not different. It's no different than 150 years ago. It's the same thing. It's just that the reason why it feels different. Well, the reason why it feels different is because they've had to tighten things because humanity is waking up. So they've made it. Things have gotten things feel so bad because they have turned up the heat. They've turned up the heat. So it feels like things are different, but they're not. It's the same peoples, the same entities running everything. Nothing's changed.
So for those of you who are watching this segment, who have asked me, because I've said several times I didn't vote, because I recognize that both parties are wings of the same bird, and you asked me who's running the country. And some people always said it was the 13 families that are always listed. They also work for someone, and those someones are not humans. And so, for those of you who ask, well, why are they trafficking people? It's for them to feed those that they work for, because they're non humans who need to consume humans to stay alive. And that's how I've understood it. So hopefully you're tying the pieces together now. And these are not our opinions. This is how it's been happening. Heather, I don't know if your guides want us to add anything to that.
Let me see. Okay, this is a question I had before, so they just kind of answered it, but I feel like there's a much more information here, so I'm just going to touch high level.
Okay. I
haven't talked about this at all because it's so controversial and I'm already censored to no end, right? So the feeding of humans is multi-layered, but they're saying the important thing to share right now for this topic in this show is it's also for ritualistic purposes. It's to keep the illusion going. They're using dark magic, and it just proves that magic has always been around. We live in a holographic reality, and words are spells, they're saying. So when you apply spells, they know, the powers that were know how to use words as spells combined with ritualistic things is what keeps the illusion going. It was what keeps their shape-shifting abilities. It's what keeps the literal illusion of, when all of this illusion falls through our own consciousness raising and us making different choices for it to fall, we might see different things in the sky. We might see different beings around that we can't see right now because of the dark magic. So they're saying it's less about staying physically alive. That's part of it. It's more about ritualistic abuse. And so when the humans get involved, which are a lot of the Hollywood stars, the elites, etc., sometimes there's a transfer of consciousness. Sometimes they merge with non-human entities. I've channeled some of that stuff on my account. But when the humans get involved, it's a lot of it's for let me get the right word. Leverage, right? They film it. They can use it against them, right? So, but it's for rituals to keep this all going. Again, this proves that magic is real, and we can use our words and our thoughts and our beliefs just like they are. We can use the power of astrological changes just like they do to change this reality into one of love and community and unity. But it's up to us to choose that. Does that make sense?
As we were speaking, I got a barrage of interferences. So I was alchemizing some energy. Sorry. I had to.
That's great. They don't want us talking about this.
No.
It's like,
nope. And for all of you watching this show, in case you think we're lying, the minute we hit this topic, we got interferences. I am being attacked spiritually. You can't see it, but I'm here to tell you I am. While Heather was speaking, I was clearing it. So this is how you know we're telling the truth. I always say anyone being censored, that's who you follow. Because we see some grotesque stuff on the internet and no one touches it. But you go down this road and you start sharing what they want hidden and they come at you, you're censored, you're banned. I mean, come on, guys. Why would they be banning this stuff if it was just conspiracy? It is
the files are out and those aren't banned. It's because they know a lot of people aren't going to read the files. And so this type of stuff, anyone speaking truth, because again, what my guys are saying right here is words are spells. And so the attack, what they're explaining here is that, and this is something I've just learned recently, and they're reminding me, they're elaborating a little bit. A lot of this is, you could call it AI. It's automatic. It's not like someone or an entity is sitting somewhere visually combing for who's talking about this stuff. There's a vibration. And when you're living, they're saying right now, when you live in authenticity, that's the highest vibration you can attain. When you're living in authenticity, you're speaking truth. So there is an overlay here that when you are standing in your truth and you're speaking your truth and you're stepping into sovereignty and you are operating authentically, there's an AI overlay that is, it's like, it's just automatically set up to interfere. That's why my videos don't get out. That's why my followers get removed. That's why,
my God, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's
But
automatic.
It makes sense. Because whenever I sit down to meditate, I get it.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm doing shows and we're discussing it so how are we supposed to counteract that? Were we given any advice?
Yeah, it's coming in right now, actually. Let me just see. Well, they're saying you kind of already know. You kind of learned this.
I just did it.
Well, not just the clearing, but it's no longer giving your. It's no longer giving your power away by believing that it can interfere. If there's an AI overlay energetically able to seek or find truth and interfere with that, we can work with the AI overlay as well. And it's saying, no, I am sovereign being, but you have to own it. You have to believe it. And they're saying that the Epstein files, from a light perspective, that's part of what this is supposed to be doing, is to say, you know what? Forget all of this. I'm done watching Hollywood. I'm done listening to these big stars like Beyonce and Jay-Z that are clearly at the top of this stuff. I'm done giving my power and energy away. I'm not voting anymore for a system that both sides are corrupt. I'm no longer participating in any of this. You're stepping into sovereignty, and that disrupts the system, that disrupts the AI overlay. And then when you do something different than you normally would do, so the AI overlay is set up. It's just the way I'm explaining it, what they're showing me. I don't know how someone else might call it, but when you act in fear or go, oh my God, what am I going to do? I feel like I'm being attacked. That's predictable, and it can work with that. What it can't work with is what you go, oh, I see you, but you don't have any impact on me because I choose my reality. I'm a creator here, and you don't have the ability to create. All you can do is try to manipulate me, and I choose no. So when you choose sovereignty and you do something different than you normally do, it doesn't know what to do. It can't compute, and it starts to dilute, I guess is the best way to say it.
Well, that's exactly what I did. I felt it coming in, and I could feel it it feels like stuff crawling in my hair. And I dealt with it. So anyway, we are clearly discussing something they don't want spoken of. So we shall continue, Heather.
This happens a lot when I'm on podcasts. The power starts glitching, the lights something starts happening. Again, it's an energetic overlay. It's not like someone is watching somewhere, remote viewing. It's just an energetic overlay that is sensing this stuff. So
it's amazing how long they've been using AI, and everyone thinks AI is something new.
Well, it's funny. I'll just say this real quick. My guides showed me a few weeks ago. I haven't been on social media a lot, so I've just been sharing these messages. Once a month in my New Earth Collective community, I upload an uncensored message, and they're usually around 60 minutes. So I'll deep dive in this stuff. And one of the messages they showed me when I said, what do you want me to share with the community? They showed me that they kind of said it in a rhetorical way. They're like, how long has Google been around? Do you think that some person sat around and thought of every possible question that could ever be asked in every language and came up with the answers? How do you think answers are populated so fast? It's from the beginning. AI has been here all along. AI is what keeps this illusion going. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and they haven't told us about it, because if we knew that it existed in the way that they use it, they're saying this right now, then we would learn how to use it for our benefit, which is good, and to dismantle this matrix. So it's been around for, it's just part of creation, It just is.
Heather, this brings me to something that occurred to me today or sometime yesterday. I was realizing how, as a nation, as a world, how we just put blind trust in the politicians and the people who run the world. They put out this Google. What you just said, I have always wondered. How could one person have all the answers for everybody's questions at the fingertip? You push a button and boom. Here comes the answer. How come no one else is questioning this like I am? And I'm not saying I'm the only person. I'm sure many people have questioned. But people are like, well, we don't have the answer, and they roll on. And I believe this is why the system has succeeded for centuries, because people just decide if you are the government, if you're the education system, if you're the banking system, I trust you. If you're Hollywood, I trust you. I have you on a pedestal. You're in a movie. You made me feel this emotion. You're amazing. And I have never been okay with all of it. And I always thought something was wrong with me because I kept questioning everything. And now that I'm waking up to the reality and the illusion we have been living, I am realizing this illusion has continued because people just trust blindly. Because even though 1 and 1 was not showing up with 2, it's the government. So it's okay. And that, I believe, there's still people, even with the Epstein files, even if they don't read it, there's drip, drip, drip everywhere. Those who've read it are making videos and putting it out there. And there's still people watching the movies, going to the football games, and still have these people on pedestals. And some of these people may have kidnapped their kids or had someone who they knew's kid was stolen for a ritual for these same people. What is wrong with us? I don't get it.
Let me answer this because I know a lot of people have that question. I'm going to share what I've channeled, and my guides are here too. They're probably going to jump in. It's 555 here. So there's a lot of, what they've shown me is that there's a lot of souls. I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of souls that are on the reincarnation loop. Now, this, from a soul perspective, it knows what it's getting into. It's all part of the, okay, it's all part of it. The soul's completely empowered. It knows what it's doing. But once it comes into human body, it can get stuck on this reincarnation loop, okay? And the more you're here, what they've shown me is, for lack of a better way to explain it, because our piddly little human brains can't possibly understand, but the way they've shown this to me is, the more times you come in the veil of forgetfulness and continue to be indoctrinated by the system, the thicker the veil of forgetfulness is. So we have to have compassion and empathy, and those are not the folks that are going to wake up, most likely. It's going to be people like us that are sharing truth that will spur awakenings in those that are able to wake up. It's not going to be everyone. It's not going to be everybody who wakes up. So there's that. And the other thing they want me to say is, let me try to explain this. Again, I touched on thought forms before. So as long as this realm has been going, right, there is like a consciousness grid. And the more thoughts, the more energy that's put into something, the bigger that thought form becomes, like politics, okay? Like religion. Those are thought forms. They were started out of nothing, right? And so if we, as souls, come in and our parents teach us what to believe, we go to school, we're taught what to believe. And now those beliefs are contributing to these thought forms that are getting bigger and bigger. It impacts all of humanity. That's why for those of us that came to help with this, we have to say, I'm no longer participating in those thought forms. I'm no longer participating in those systems that started as thought forms that are taking from humanity. I'm withdrawing my time, energy, and money. And the more people that do that, one second, they want me to say something else. The more people that do that, the more this will fall. The other thing that they just brought in, they're reminding me that they've shown me that lots of souls have incarnated into the divine feminine, mostly feminine, but some of them are masculine, like males. And the divine feminine is here to create. The divine feminine is a little bit different than divine masculine, right? And ideally, we have both in our body. We've embodied both, but as the divine feminine is waking up and leaving corporations and systems and structures like I did, right? Politics, banking and finance, Western medicine, education, as people wake up and they follow their intuition to leave, the systems fall even faster because they're held up by the balance of the light and the dark, right? Or the masculine and feminine. Not saying that they're light or dark, but there has to be balance. So it's not going to be everybody that's going to wake up. That's what we have to do. We have to hold space for them, even though it seems crazy. Like my entire family believes all this, except for my brother's waking up, but my entire family believes this. You know, they wore the N95 masks and they're quadruple vaccinated, and we're starting to see that was all a gimmick. It was all part of this process. It's all part of keeping us disconnected from our higher selves and to test the population to see, are we still asleep? Are we still going to do what they're telling us to do? It's all part of the plan. And it's starting to drip out with the Epstein files. We're seeing it's all controlled, right? But some people are just not going to wake up. And the last thing I'll say, they reminded me that I've been channeling this for a while, and it's on my TikTok channel, that many, many souls are going to be leaving the planet now and moving in the next few years because the human body that they're in cannot comprehend what's happening, and they're going to choose to leave, right? Through whatever means that is. It could be through anything, a car accident, health, whatever. They're going to choose to leave because it's going to be too much. The Epstein files are already too much for a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people that can't handle that shock. And that's just part of what the soul has signed up for.
Well, I'm glad their souls have signed up for it. And a lot of times we don't remember what our soul signed up for. And that's what makes all of it difficult. So I just hope if I could help anyone that I can. I'm hoping people like you and I, that's why I do this. I just came home from work, ran in the house, kicked off my shoes, and I'm sitting here doing this because I am so passionate about waking as many people up as possible. There's nothing for me to gain from it. I'm wide awake. I just don't want anyone left behind to deal with that horrible system. But if their soul has signed up for it, there's nothing we can do. We can only share what we know. And in case you've never seen Heather before, she's been on my show several times, but she was working in the banking system. And she had a huge job in the bank. And she quit. She quit because of a certain reason, and you could go to the previous videos and hear her story. But I really believe she quit for this, because this is what she was supposed to do and not necessarily what she was doing in the bank. Maybe the bank experience was one of the stepping stools to where she is today, because she got the exposure to what really goes on there, at least the dark side of it. So, you know, so many things happen in our lives, and we feel sorry for ourselves, and we think, oh my God, how could this be happening to me? I shared a story about what happened to me also. It's on my YouTube channel, and I'm sitting here today to tell you all of it was part of the plan. Because all the horrible things that were done to me, actually those people, I don't care what their intentions were, but they were my teachers. Hats off to you guys. I'm sitting here proud tonight, a very awakened soul, and I have ascended, I continue to ascend, and I remain faithful to my mission, and you helped me. So, Heather, I don't know what you want to add to this, because we are down to 6 minutes to the hour.
Well, let me just, this is what's coming in, and then you let me know if there's anything else on the Epstein files you want me to address. But I didn't quit. I was fired as an executive, top ranking executive. I was recruited for 15 years to take over the lowest performing territories in the country and call centers. And I over and over and over increased performance to the top 2%. I won trips every year, all the things. Okay. I was top in the company. And I started standing up against racism and corruption. How I grew these teams and territories was through community and helping people share their gifts with each other. I'm now doing that in my New Earth Collective community. So everything I experienced and all the skills that I learned from the bank and that I practice at the bank are coming in handy. We are in life school. And what my guides have shown me is everything we experience in our life is giving us the skills to help us step into our mission and purpose. Okay. It's just like college, or, I'm not even gonna go down that route, but like if you go to medical school, you're learning skills so you can go do surgery on someone, right? You are in life school to learn the skills. You can't help someone truly with grief and loss unless you've experienced it yourself. Unfortunately, that means you have to experience pain and trauma. But those people are more equipped to help others with grief than a therapist who went to school and read a bunch of books, right? So life gives us the lessons that we need to step into our mission and purpose. But I was fired for standing up against racism and corruption. And how it went down is I was getting bullied. I had a stroke even, and I would not stand down. Nobody else would get my back. Nobody else would stand up against it. And I, one night, laid in bed and I said, if there's anything out there beyond this, because I didn't know, I said, I feel my soul dying. Please help me. And within months, I've been fired. I was offered $100,000 to stay silent. I turned it down, created a platform to share truth, and that launched within a couple of months. I started channeling. I was visited by 2 light beings. So it's about standing in your truth and sovereignty and understanding that everything you've experienced in your life is for a reason. I've created masterclass immersions on this because this comes in constantly when I'm channeling for people, their mission and purpose and the reasons behind their experiences. It's always for a reason. When we look at our life as a victim, then we can't see the reasons and we're not stepping into our mission and purpose and empowering ourselves. When we can say, I don't know what this is about, it's teaching me something, and understand that hindsight will be 2020, we can be in a such more powerful, empowered state. So everything's on purpose, everything's for a reason, and your soul signed up with this blueprint, including your experiences, relationships, and even trauma, to train you. We're basically in training for a mission and purpose. So that's what I would say. Do you have any questions about the Epstein file? Anything else about the Epstein files?
Well, I think we would have to do another segment in 3 weeks when you're free, because the Epstein file is so large that there's no way we can cover all of it. But also, I don't know if we need to. I think it's so heinous that I don't think we really want to go down the rabbit hole to find out. I think I know enough about what's in it. I don't think that people can handle it.
No.
And so I think what we need to do instead of going down is become aware of what happened there so that we can make different choices regarding those involved. We can see them for who they are and learn that these people are not our friends. They work for cannibals, and cannibals eat people. So your call, but I want nothing to do with them. And so Heather,
Yeah. I would not recommend reading the Epstein files. And when I say, do you want to talk about the Epstein files anymore? Not the files themselves, but the purpose. And so I guess I'll tell everyone, they can go to my TikTok account. I'm breaking it down there about what's really going on, what to do, why is this happening right now. We're not talking about what's in the files. It's about, like you said, making different choices. And I'm covering the dark and the light perspectives of this to help people choose, if they want to be empowered and step into sovereignty and start creating a different reality.
yes. And I will bring Heather back. You can also find Heather on YouTube. So Heather, would you like to give them your handles so they know where to find you on TikTok, they know where to find you on YouTube? Because she's covered so much, as you can tell. These topics are not topics you could discuss in 1 hour and make it clear for you all. So what we tried to do is pack a lot of it in an hour, and some of what Heather channeled may be confusing for you. So we can do another, if you guys want to write to me, but she will come back when it's convenient for her, and we are going to continue to go down not the rabbit hole, but we're going to discuss, what we're supposed to learn from this and how we can protect ourselves in the future going forward. So yes, Heather, tell them where they can find you.
Okay, I'll send you my links too, just in case. But
okay.
And if anybody has any questions, please drop them in the comments. And then when I come back, we can address those specific questions for people. But my TikTok handle is crystal.claire.channel. So CRYSTAL period CLAIR period channel CHANNEL. So crystal.claire.channel. There's some imposters out there, so my account has like, I think right now 25,000. It's a small account, but not as small as some of the imposters. And then I believe my YouTube is Heather Bryant Healer, but I have to send you the links for that. I've covered a lot of this stuff before the Epstein files. I covered P. Diddy, I covered Lady Gaga, Oprah. Mostly what is on there is helping people understand the collapse of the 4 pillars, what's going on, what's really going on from a spiritual perspective, and really sharing messages to help empower you to make different choices, to understand why you're experiencing things in your life and how you can create a different reality, that you're not a victim. We are empowered, but we have been indoctrinated, manipulated since birth to believe that we're not. So that's one of the main takeaways from the Epstein files. My guides are saying right now is to show you no more giving your power away to ritualistic stuff through your energetic participation in any of this stuff. Stop watching the sports. Stop listening to the music. If you can't stop, make sure that you're watching in a neutral state. Watch when your vibration lowers. That's how they continue. So if you also can't stop, then that, you might want to consider maybe you're addicted to it, and that's exactly what they want.
Yeah, all the games, the Academy Awards, all the big shows, all the things that are a big deal to most people. I'm happy to say I've not watched a game, an award show, or anything for at least 5 years because I know what's going on and I need my energy for me. And so if you're interested, one of the things we will definitely discuss when Heather comes back will be how they harvest your energy at these events. And so we'll keep you posted on when we're going to do another segment. And thank you for watching. And Heather, thank you for your time. I know this was last minute, but I really worry because you're not the only one channeling. And every day we get channeled messages from other spiritual teachers, and they're warning every day that the time is now. The time is now. There's a huge change coming, and there's no way you will miss it. And apparently, depending on your choices now, not everyone will survive it. And I don't want anyone I love not to go to the next place with me. So it's really my passion to help awaken people to the reality. And don't ask me what is coming because I can't tell you. All we keep being told every day, it started, the time is now. And if you're paying attention, you will notice changes are happening and not all can be explained. Do you guys have any other messages before I wrap up? Is there anything they want to add to this for humanity?
Yeah, it feels like there is one little thing. Let me just see. I think I touched on this, but they're saying it's important not to be in fear. It's important to understand you're empowered and to know that your soul chose to be here. Your human might not understand that, but your soul did not come into this blind. It wasn't tricked. And you're here for a reason. If things are feeling hard, they're saying, look at the choices you're making. How much are you engaged in the matrix, meaning sports, music, scrolling? Are you watching the news at all? Are you even watching the weather? Stop it now. Just turn it all off. If you can't turn it off, then you have to understand that the things that you see in your reality are a direct reflection of where you're investing your energy. It's very simple. They're saying it's very simple to start changing your reality and align to New Earth, where it's love and unity and community. We're building that together. That's what my community is about. It's very simple, but it's not easy because you have to take control of your mind and you have to have willpower and remove your energy, time, and money, which is energy, from these systems and structures, starting with the screens, starting there. So they're saying you are loved. They said you've prepared lifetimes for this. It's go time, and have no fear because we are supported and we're being guided, and you will notice and hear the guidance the more you unplug from anything external, any thought forms, any of the systems and structures that we are manipulated by. You're going to start to discern your inner guidance even more, and that inner guidance will never go away. It's always connected to your higher self, who is always guiding you in your highest timeline. So You are loved, you're empowered, and it's time to step into sovereignty.
Whoa, thank them very much for being here tonight and bringing these messages through for us. And we will be back as soon as Heather has the time to cover the topics I mentioned earlier. And bye!